This is a very special interview. It's an audio interview for New Frontiers in Science and Development. And I have with me Dr. Deepak Apte. He's a well-known ecologist. He's the director of the Bombay Natural History Society, the society which is well known and linked with the name of Dr. Salim Ali, the Birdman of India. Uh, Deepak, there have been some observations on bat colonies across India disappearing. What is the finding and what is the inference, if you have any?
Well, good afternoon, Pallava. I think this is a very preliminary observation that we have been noticing, and especially, for example, in front of my house, I used to have very large colony of about 10 to 15,000 giant flying foxes. They suddenly disappeared 2 weeks ago, and I was curious to know what happened. Then I heard a colony from Mahim disappeared, a colony from Mysuru disappeared. So I just shared that post, on social platform to understand whether this is a general trend people been observing or this is just a one-off case. But for my point of view, as a naturalistic point of view, this is a very interesting aspect.
See, occasionally bats have also been linked to viruses, and we are currently going through the coronavirus or the COVID-19 virus pandemic. Any ideas on if there could be any linkages to the coronavirus?
Well, I'm neither a bat expert nor a virus expert, but certainly, bats we know well that they are carrier of a number of diseases. And I think there is a larger question we need to look at given the current circumstances. That we are losing our forest pretty rapidly. Climate change is changing, the entire cycle of nature very rapidly. And many of these, animals who are relatively more adaptable are adapting into a human lifestyle. Now, look at the number of flying fox colonies that we see across Mumbai, for example, a large, metropolis. Plenty of places we have of these bat colonies. Now, interaction of human to this wildlife, which are potential carriers of number of diseases, one need to monitor this very carefully. And this is also, a kind of a symptom that climate change is bringing all these animals and diseases to our doorsteps, and we cannot be unmindful of this particular aspect.
Uh, do you think there's enough food for them? Or maybe they have migrated because there was not enough food.
Well, I mean, if you tell me that forest doesn't provide enough food for animals, that's something which I can't believe. Essentially, if you have a healthy forest, it should be enough for a number of, species to survive peacefully.
No,
Because we are losing
my
forest.
question was specifically to the 10 or 15,000 flying fox colony which is near your house. Is there enough fruit trees available for them, and is there enough fruit
Yeah.
available?
If you go around in my colony, you will find it's full of fruits. So there is no shortage of foods, definitely. Neither there is any specific, disinfection done by anybody there. They just simply disappeared. We don't know why.
Or do you think, see, of late there has been this lockdown, and there's a kind of a eerie silence which has set into the city. Do you
Yes.
think it could have had some impact?
I think that is my personally, that's my hypothesis that many of these, I call them urban bats. They used to high, noise and high illumination. And the sudden quietness, probably is something. I think the bat expert need to examine that. I don't think, it's appropriate for me to comment on those aspects. But as a naturalist, this is quite inquisitive for me that they're, disappearing from urban pockets like Mysore, like Mahim, like, Thane, and couple of other large urban areas. Is something worth contemplating. But the bigger question, as I said earlier, is we definitely need to look at, human wildlife interaction, which has increased much more in last few decades because of loss of our forests, loss of different habitats, and, very rapidly changing climate. Look at, it was raining yesterday in Pune. It is cloudy today in Thane. We have never seen this kind of, weather uh, previously. So I think animals are also responding to those changes, and those changes are pretty rapid. I think it is a high time we look at some of these issues very seriously, considering that it has, repercussions on human well-being as well.
Uh, So in essence, you're saying there is some concern, but you're not sure whether there is a linkage to the coronavirus. But yes, you have heard enough reports about large bat colonies leaving their specific roosts and going away somewhere. Uh, are you sure they've just left or have they died?
No, I'm pretty sure they'll learn because I can still evening, late evening, hear some of the bats coming to these ficus trees in my society. So definitely they have not died. I mean, you, if so many bats die, somebody will notice it. I don't think it's a question of whether they have died. They have just left. We know bats shift colonies seasonally. It's not that this is something, unknown or unusual. It's just that this was one of the very stable colonies. It's there for last 4 years. Definitely, I've seen in these large numbers. It's never left throughout the year for last 4 years. And these reports coming so frequently from various quarters that one has to look at whether this very quiet kind of surrounding currently has anything to do with them. I think it's just a natural history question one need to contemplate.
Uh, uh, Thanks a lot for giving an overview of what is happening for the bat colonies, especially flying fox colonies in and around your own house, and also in some other locations, as you say, in Mahim and in Mysore.
Yeah.
Uh, Bats are well known to have linkages to viruses and also linkages to some new infections which have come up. More investigation needs to be done, and let's see what the final finding could be. Uh, Always a pleasure speaking to you, Dr. Deepak Apte, and this was a very special audio interview for New Frontiers in Science and Development, and I am Pallava Bagla.